It's time to go balls deep. My name is Alan Gigax. I'm here with Anthony Scafacci and his sweet little baby brother, Joe Fiorio. Anthony, say hello.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right. And Joe,
What's going on, guys? I don't know if
hey.
40 years old counts me as a baby, but we'll go from
Oh,
there.
well, by
My balls are
comparison to
babies,
your
so we'll
old.
go from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you probably, dude, at only 40, you probably don't even have any gray pubes yet. Ah,
Yeah,
But everything
I
is
say
fair.
he's my
yeah.
younger brother, not baby brother.
Yeah, he's definitely, dude. I'm
I
just
have, I
now
have Gary
reminded
Coleman
of
syndrome.
a story. So Anthony and I have been friends since like junior high school, and we used to stay at Anthony's house, and we would be up late into the night playing like a version of Dungeons and Dragons. And one time, we're out there
I
playing the
remember
game in the
this.
middle of the night. Yeah, Joe knows what's coming.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Joe walks out. Joe used to sleepwalk. And he comes walking out of the bedroom, out
Eh,
into the dining room, into the kitchen, opens the cabinet under the sink where the trash can is, pisses into the trash can, and then sleepwalks back into bed. It was so
Yeah,
funny.
at,
classic
at least,
Joe.
at least I was efficient in what I was doing.
Yeah, at
All
least he didn't
Yeah,
right.
piss on the floor. I mean, there's something to be
yeah,
said for it,
yeah. It's
You know, you
civilized.
know, it's a little
The-
craziness to that. So
Mm.
I have a 5-year-old son, and I catch him fucking getting up and sleepwalking sometimes too. So
Oh my
yeah,
God,
do
there's
that's
you
right.
something to it.
do you just lay a
I let
trash
him.
can out just in case it's like genetic?
No, I'm gonna let him walk to Al's house and piss in his trash can.
Yeah.
Hey, well, hey, Jay, just make sure you don't give that kid any kicks cereal.
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh
And why is
yeah,
that?
right.
Anthony, tell us why, or Joe,
Oh man.
whoever.
So
This is good
one
one.
time when Joe was just, I mean, he couldn't have been more
I
than
must have
like
been
two
like
years old
4.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, did 2 or 3. I mean, he was pretty young. Actually, no, I guess yeah, he probably was like 4 years old. He's eating cereal, and he's just like stuffing that cereal into his mouth. And we had
Right.
kicks, which I don't even.
Kicks.
I
Yeah.
mean, do they even make them
I don't
anymore?
know.
But they were little
I,
round
Probably.
I
cereal balls,
yeah, they're
Yeah.
and
good.
Kid tested, mother approved.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he's
By
he's
who?
just eating
By
them
who
by
is
the
my question.
handful.
Right.
And one of them went up his nose, and he starts crying, as young kids will do. And we're like, Joe, you got
That
to blow.
motherfucker
You got to
wasn't
blow it
coming out.
out.
Yeah.
And then he just blows out his mouth, like that instead of.
Yeah.
And so then we had to like hold one nostril shut, and he did a snot rocket of a kick. So probably hit me in the foot or something like
It,
that.
it
But
landed right in between your legs. I do remember that vivid.
yeah, I mean,
Dude.
still,
Good times.
40 something years later, it's
Yeah.
still a story we talk
I,
about.
I
So
have that. I have that kicks in a little pouch in my
yeah, he
bedroom
kept
as we
it.
speak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
it,
remember. Never forget. Never trust those
yeah.
fucking little round balls, right? Tricks,
Motherfuckers.
kicks, any of those
yeah.
cereals like that. Reese's Puffs.
Yeah,
Dude, no
Yeah,
they're
way.
it's a good
fucking
thing he wasn't
smug.
eating Cookie Crisp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, would have tore him up.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's why to this day he still can't have crunch berries.
Shit.
Yeah,
Because those things are
it's yeah,
fucking jagged.
Yeah,
tragic.
exactly.
It's a tragic.
Yep. All right. So speaking of stories, we have additional pages that go along with our EA Sports College Football headquarters page. And the most popular one, and the one that really is on brand for what we're trying to do with these pages, is our storyline page. So, Anthony, tell us about that page.
So the storyline page, I feel, is kind of like that's my baby. I mean, more so even than the headquarters page, which obviously
In
I'm
the sense that you
super.
accidentally dropped it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that I dropped it on its head. But no, the storyline page. What we learned real quickly about our main page is that as we got more and more members, and the excitement grew and the post grew, is that anything over about 15 words probably won't even get read. I mean, it
Yep.
just like if you write 2 complete sentences, that's probably enough. Put a picture, and then the next post is going to knock it down a little bit more. And so for the stories, when people like me, I might write 1,500 words or something like that, and I'm writing this stuff, and it's like pouring out of me, and I'm really just writing it to just try to entertain myself, but also entertain the page, give them something to read, and even though there's at the time maybe 30,000 or 40,000 people, dude, nobody's reading this shit. I mean, and I get it. It's fucking nerdy. Okay, I admit it. It's super fucking nerdy,
It
but
is.
nobody's reading this shit. And so we were like, you know what? What if we just make another page, attach it to our own, just call it a companion page or whatever, specifically for the storyline stuff. So you can post it there, and then the people who like that can just go there and they'll get to read it, and it's not just going to get washed away.
Right, because on the main
And
page,
so
when a story gets like, you write this thing, you pour your heart into it, and then it gets like 241 views and one reaction, that's really depressing. But when you're on the storyline
dude,
page and
it's
it gets 247 views and one reaction, hey, that's not bad.
yeah,
Yeah, right.
exactly, because there's only
Right?
like
Yeah.
110 people on it or
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, but meanwhile, if you just fucking post a picture and write like, what team do you like? Fucking 10,000 views, 6,000 comments.
Yeah.
But
Those are
hey,
easily our
it
most
is that.
popular posts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
right.
nature of the
Absolutely.
beast. And so, yeah, we made the storyline page. And the storyline page gets action basically every single day. Somebody's posting something. And, we have some members that just read, and we have some members that create content. I do both. I like to read or look at other people's created content. I like to help them with their content. Help them create stories, things like that. Suggest stories for people who are looking to write one. Because that's fun. It gives me something to do, and I look forward every single day to going onto the storyline page and looking at somebody's content. Every time I see somebody new post something, it makes me happy.
Yeah. What?
Alan,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, what I'd really like to see over there, I think there's an opening for content like this. So if you're a listener and you have the ability, what we really need is like mascot based slash fiction. Like where that big red tub of goo from the Western Kentucky toppers, really gets his hand on like the eagle from the Air Force Falcons or whatever, and like, do they just fucking go at it? Like, what does
So
that
are we
red thing's
talking
cock
like?
look like?
Uh,
So are we
mm,
talking like the fucking
I'd
goo
bang
guy
that
from
broad.
Western Kentucky is
Yeah.
like a slasher
No,
flick
no,
type thing?
slash
Like
fiction
he's
is
Jason
when it's
Voorhees?
like porn essentially of
Or
the
he's like a
existing
Oh,
serial jerker
characters.
offer.
Yeah,
Jesus
exactly.
Mm,
Christ.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
So anyway,
Eh.
if you're interested in
That
creating that
Purdue
kind of stuff,
Boilermakers just fucking is pounding beef all day. Is that
yeah,
what
Sitting
you
there
want?
exactly. Yeah,
giving
I want to
Cleveland
get
Yeah.
steamers to people.
right. I want to get hit that demon deacon so hard from behind that his hat falls off.
Jeez.
Right.
Somehow, every podcast we get into some kind of weird gay shit with Alan. Like we just can't avoid it. You just got to go there, man. I
I'm
love
very
it.
You know what?
helpful.
Yeah,
Let him express himself. All right.
Yeah, man. Don't
yeah,
try to. Yeah, don't yuck my yum.
yeah. So
All right.
let that guy just fly his freak
Yeah.
flag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All right. So the content that we have on the page, though, that is actually pretty good, is there's like a guy who has set a mission for his coach where he started in, I think it was New York, and
No,
wanted
I think it
to.
was at University of Buffalo. It's Amir Khan is the
Yeah,
coach.
yeah.
I
Tell the
can't remember
story.
the guy that started the post, but dude, fucking love that series. So what it is he's trying to go coast to coast and travel across the entire country, but he can only take jobs connected to the state he was playing in. So he had to do like 6 or 7 seasons at like the University of Buffalo before he moved to I forget where, but
Penn
eventually got to
State, I
Penn
think, was the
State.
next one. I think that was the very
Was it?
next one. Yeah.
Was Penn State the next one? I thought there
Yeah,
was one
because
in between.
he finally turned Buffalo into a winner, and he got a
Sure.
high profile job, and then boom, he was at Penn State.
Yeah, and now I think he's at Ohio State. So he's made it into the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
And every time I see that guy post, dude, I am all over that shit. He writes, it's funny, and it's interesting because it's such a unique idea that I'm actually kind of surprised other people haven't followed suit.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it was definitely a good idea. What other kind of stories do we have going on the storyline page? Like, tell us a little bit about Private Scafacci, the one that you're writing.
So Private Scafacci started on um, the 13 console on the PS3, and I paused it while I was waiting for the new game. So I've picked it up now. It's his freshman year, and I'm only about six or seven episodes in. I've been trying to write, but man, it's tough because I can't get the fuck on the field, and so I'm writing, but there's nothing game wise to show. And I think I'm about to end the first season, and dude, I am so far from the fucking field. So I've got to like write to catch up to tell this story that I want to tell, and I have a story to tell, but it's I really want to get some like game film and stuff like that to put on there to go with it because I think that'll help the presentation. But Private Scafacci is a prequel to my General Scafacci series that I ran way back when I first started playing again on and writing on that other page. And so this is kind of an idea I had where I could show where how Hannibal Scafacci got to be the crazy motherfucking coach that he is, and show him when he was at like West Point. So the story set like in the 1960s. It involves his father, the war hero, and his mama, and the story's about that growing up and where it's going to go from there. So I plan to do all four seasons at Army and see where it goes. But I've got some ideas. I got to really just sit down and write.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of that page is you can let those stories breathe, you get some feedback, and it's a really nice welcome home for that sort of content.
Yeah, you're also a writer, Al.
I am that. Yeah.
I've been waiting for you to post either some of your old stuff or give us some new stuff. Do you have anything cooking right now?
Dude, I am so freaking swamped with in my private life, I'm running for office in my local union, and it's taken up a big chunk of my creative time and my energy time. And it's no, I don't have shit. I've got a book that's pretty much done, just like you do, which I know at some point we'll talk about that. And I may start posting that stuff to the storyline page, but dude, I'm no, I can't
Yeah.
commit to
So what we
anything like
got to
that.
do is
Oh,
I
not
got to
to mention I
convince
got
my
three
brother.
podcasts.
Yeah, I got to convince my brother Joe, who's probably one of the funniest people I know, to start writing and create a series.
I'll be
And
a ghostwriter.
if
I'll ghostwrite for you.
dude, maybe we could just do audiobook only with you, and we'll
Yeah.
just figure out a way to do an audiobook because I think you come up with some really really creative stuff that's like super funny, but you have the attention span of like a fucking gnat, so
Sorry,
it's
I'm
hard to
out here
get
trying to.
you.
I'm out here trying to put people in houses, bro. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
apologize.
I get it. I get it, but dude, this we're talking about important stuff here, nerdy shit, and so you
Fair enough.
gotta, yeah,
I got
like
you.
keep your eye on the ball here, okay? We got to
Sorry,
make
Yeah,
that
sorry.
listeners,
mailbox money.
Apologize.
don't let what you hear here, what you're listening to here, fool you. Joe actually is really funny, dude. Just because he comes on here and he's like, "Hey, listeners, what's up?" There's
I
more
have a
to him than that.
sexy fucking low tone voice there,
Dude,
Al.
yeah, you're like
That's
the
why
guy
your
from
fucking
fucking Boys to
voice.
Men.
Goddamn right. Don't
I,
fucking
Yeah.
don't try to rain on my goddamn parade. All right.
all right.
Yeah,
So
so
before, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So our next topic, I want to talk about the storyline page is not the only additional page that you have created. Anthony, what other page do we have for the EA Sports College Football headquarters?
He has
So
an OnlyFans.
basically, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sweat all over my controller and then just sell it to a really sweaty nerd and see if they'll buy it. But so no, I we also we people had been like clamoring kind of for the same reason that I want to get like tips and tricks, but if I post it, nobody ever answers, or I can't get an answer because the flow of the page is just so high. It's basically a gusher, as they say, and
Speaking of
so
gushers, I
We
have an
like
idea
gushers
for
over
your
here.
for your NCAA EA's headquarters OnlyFans page. What you
oh
do
really?
is you get onto your chair. There's a butt plug. and the thickness of the butt plug is based on how many points you give up in the game. So, like when you
Dude,
throw that pick six, now you got to go grab that bigger butt
dude, I'd
plug.
have to
We
fucking
got to
sit on a
watch.
fire hydrant.
Mm.
Fucking, I'd have to take a fucking watermelon in my ass lately because, dude, I'm not winning. So,
All right,
but
continue.
so anyway, so we people have been asking, where can we get some tips, tricks, some help? And so what we did is we created the research and development page, which it's very much in its infancy. There's only maybe like 36 or 37 people on it, and it's very very slow going. Kind of a trickle so far of activity there. But I expect it to pick up over time where people can post, how to get better at the game, what buttons to use, how to, maximize things like recruiting or playbook design or how to, get the most out of each and every play in the game. What works against, this defense or what defense against this type of offense. And so that's what that page is for. And so we have the research and development page. It's going. It's just going slow. Hopefully it'll start to pick up. I think those pages will actually get better and better as the honeymoon phase of the game kind of comes to an end and we start to settle into
Yeah.
the type of people that are going to be playing for a long, long time. Because
Yep.
a lot of members of our page, they'll move on to other games because that's just the type of thing that they
Cocksuckers.
do. That they're
You disloyal
look, dude.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. Look, dude, they're not the ride or die kind of guys that we are. That I told my wife, I'm getting a PS5. I'm buying one fucking game. I may never
Yeah.
buy another game.
Dude,
Like
this is
this
the only
is
game I
it.
have.
It's college football 25 or fucking bust. And that's how much I love the game. I mean, I love it so much I created a page. In fact, I've created 3 now and a podcast.
You know what's
So,
funny about that is also
yeah.
none of us are really college football fans.
My
I am.
brother is to some extent.
Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
long time Michigan fan. R.I.P. Michigan today. Getting their
Michigan?
dick stomped in the dirt.
Oh, dude, they got fucking
Yeah,
mollywopped
fucking hammered.
at home
Oh.
by Texas.
Versus Texas.
Joe couldn't
it's
even
gonna be a
watch,
down
dude.
season. It's gonna be a down
Yeah.
season.
You guys won't
Yeah.
hear this episode for a while, but this is recorded on Saturday, September 7th. And who did Michigan lose to?
Texas, number 4
Oh,
Texas.
damn.
In the
Yeah.
big house. Yeah, rough times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to say though about the page and everything. I
Go
think
for
that
it.
it's great for the community as well as giving ideas back to EA. Because I'm sure there are some people on here. We have the biggest page, and you'd have a lot of eyes on it. I'm sure there are some game developers or people from EA who are on here who are listening to what the community is saying, like this needs to get fixed, this needs to get fixed, these things like that, and hopefully they take tidbits and go from there and kind of see if it helps the game out a little bit more.
Yeah, agreed. And we know there's overlap because people who were involved with Revamped on 14 would post on Facebook regularly, and they wound up getting brought into the development team for 25.
Yeah,
All right,
and
Joe.
that's how it should be.
So you're kind of not, I wouldn't say an outsider to our page, but definitely, you're not spending as much time on it as I am. You're a busy guy, obviously, things like that. But do you actually think there is people from EA as part of our
Absolutely.
page, just like incognito?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't there be?
Yeah,
Any
I
good?
agree.
I just don't think
if
they
you're
give a
running any
fuck.
good. No, I think they do because look, they're putting a product out there, and any good business, any good corporation is going to sit there and look at it like, okay, what are we going to do? We need to listen to our market if we want to make more money.
It's not only that, it's
essentially.
also a big part of their identity and what they're interested in. Like, dude, I'm a mailman, and I'm on like 8 different mailman Facebook pages.
Do you
Yeah,
jizz in envelopes and send them to people?
That's my preferred way to seal envelopes.
Oh, dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Al,
Like
I know this
Maker's
is a
Mark?
little off topic, but
Yeah,
you should
that's
tell
also
the
how I get the
story.
stamps to stick. Go ahead. What story?
Al, you should tell the story about the time you were at work and you had to take a shit in the back of the mail truck.
Which time? dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Hold on,
so
are you as can you be could you be convicted in a court of law for any of this? Since I know
well,
you are
let's
like a
assume that this is
federal
just a
employee.
story, and it may or
Okay,
may
Yeah.
not be true. And even
okay,
if it
fair
is
enough.
true, the
Fair
statute of
enough.
limitations is passed. But yeah, I do not warrant any of these, anything
That
that I'm
shit's
about to tell you
petrified by now.
to be factually accurate. So
Okay.
one time, allegedly, someone I know went to Jack in
A
the
friend of
Box for
mine.
lunch. Yeah, exactly, a friend of
We'll
mine.
call him Schmallen.
Yeah, yeah. So Schmallen went to Jack in the Box for lunch, and got himself like a medium ultimate cheeseburger combo with curly fries or something
Mm.
like that. And then Alan is on a walking, or Schmallen is on a walking route. And fuck it, I'll just tell it as me. It's probably not true.
Yeah,
So
right.
so I'm on a walking route, and I'm out walking the streets, and because I had the big soda to go with it, I had to pee. And the problem that happened was, like, as I'm walking, I'm getting further and further away from my mail truck, and then I start to have gas developing from the Jack in the Box. And so I really
This
need
is
to
awesome.
let the gas out, but
Joe's never heard this story, by the
the
way.
muscles that hold your pee in, the Kegel muscles, ask your mom about those, are the same muscles that hold your butthole closed. Or at least I can't separate one from the
At
other.
least yours. Yeah.
At least mine, right? Mine, there's like one big string in the middle, and you pull up on it, it just clenches everything.
It's like
So,
Woody from Toy
anyway,
Story.
so like I really need to fart, but I can't because if I release, I'm going to
Dude, you
piss.
can't trust a fart anyway.
Well, at that point,
You could
right?
have
I'm
pinched the
still.
mushroom head.
I could have maybe, and then it just had a little dribble. But
Mm, yeah.
where were you, man? I could have used your help. So
Yeah, well,
anyway, so I really
next
have
time.
to piss, and I'm worried. Like I know at this point it's just gas, and if I can release the gas pressure, it's going to be fine. But I can't release the gas pressure because I've pissed my pants. And so I'm walking, and eventually, again, if you can release that pressure, then everything's cool. But if that pressure keeps building, then eventually it becomes a fucking bomb. And that bomb is made of shit. And so now I have to just do whatever I can to get back to my mail truck as fast as possible. But the problem is, there's nothing in the mail truck that I can use to shit
No
in.
toilets in mail trucks?
No, there's no, not officially. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I get back to the mail truck, and I have to like climb into the back of the truck, and it's difficult to climb in there because I gotta piss, and now I gotta shit so bad. Like it's like, it's gonna
I
explode.
imagine you couldn't. I imagine you couldn't lift your leg, and you just kind of rolled into the back of the
I,
mail
I
truck.
probably did. Yeah. Kind of like flopped in there like a walrus,
Yeah.
and close the door, take my pants down, and now the only thing I have at the container is the Jack in the Box cup.
Oh God.
Yeah, exactly. So I put the Jack in the Box cup on the floor of the mail truck, and I squat over it, and goddamn miracle of
And I shit
miracles,
on the floor.
Like a
miracle of
goddamn
miracles,
World War II bomber.
I managed. So at the very slightest, at the very slightest release of,
Jesus Christ.
Right over the container.
so at the very slightest release of pucker, my ass explodes. And I
Now I imagine you wearing a rubber fucking helmet with goggles.
so when that happens, like, it was kind of amazing. Like, I was able to let the shit fly out and still not piss. And so,
Ugh.
dude, it goes into the cup. It was goddamn incredible. And I'm
Dude,
so proud of myself. No, wait. But now I still really have to piss. And there's nowhere for me to piss. I need that cup under my ass because I'm like shitting my brains out. And so
oh
what
my
I try
God.
to do is kind of pinch my ass together. Like, you can pinch your ass without, like, you just squeeze your cheeks. And so I try to
Yeah.
do that, and dude, then I gotta bring this cup around front, and it was so goddamn disgusting. And then try to piss into this cup that's full of like sloppy shit. And
As
then
as
that
as 78-year-old Miss Richards is waiting for a fucking pill.
and that's
Right
where
outside the
things,
fucking truck.
yeah. So-
Banging on the fucking side of the truck. Get my mail. Get my fucking mail.
Can I give you this letter? Not right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Union
anyway,
mandatory break.
yeah. So that's when things took a turn for the worse. Because that
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
maneuver
I
was a
knew
little
that
tough.
story would be worth it.
that's
Oh,
fucking
Oh
Jesus
my
funny.
Christ.
god,
That
dude.
was that was a
Yeah.
good
Good
one.
times. Good times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Uh
nice, man.
yeah.
Oh,
All
funny.
right. So for that story and for this opportunity, we need to thank the We Held On Foundation. Thank you to today's sponsor, the He Held On Foundation. He Held On Foundation has helped nearly 3,000 seniors complete their bucket list items with the help of your donations. Does Nana want to swim with sharks before she goes? Has old Uncle Steve always wanted to drive a nitro burning funny car? His grandpa Irwin dreamed of white. Has Grandpa Irwin dreamed of shitting in the back of a mail truck into a cup? The He Held
We
On.
can make this happen, people.
That's right. The He Held On Foundation can make all these dreams come true. Go to heheldon.com for more information on how you can become a donor. Guys, that was fun.
That was a good
36 cents a
episode,
day,
man.
you could help
Yeah,
that man shit in a cup.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. We'll rent the mail truck. Oh, good
Yeah,
shit.
we'll make
In
it
the
happen.
arms
Well,
of an angel.
good stuff. All right, guys, we're not going to be able to top that, so let's get out of here. Take it easy, everybody.
All right. Bye.
All right.
Peace.